BMW M340i xDrive first test. M is for motor. Pros: hard charging engine, gobbles up highway miles, styling we could live with. Cons: not the driver's car it once was, crowded infotainment screen, audio and climate buttons have been binned. There was a time not long ago when the typical BMW 3 Series review used an entire glossary worth of car-geek jargon to convey the sport sedan's greatness. Reviewers waxed poetic about its steering feel, damping character, and handling balance to capture the character you could feel in your hands and inner ear, character that couldn't be quantified by test results alone. Our jobs are easier when a 3 Series shows up these days. Want to know what the 2023 BMW M340i xDrive is all about? Check out the bananas acceleration times. Hammering to 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds, the all-wheel drive M340i trails the rear-drive, 503 horsepower M3 competition by just 0.3 seconds in MotorTrend testing. A 12.3-second quarter-mile puts the mid-level 3 Series ahead of the 472 horsepower Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing in a head-to-head drag race. Those numbers tell the story. It's the engine, not the chassis, that makes the M340i special among today's luxury sport sedans. The turbocharged 3.0-liter inline-six makes 382 horsepower, 369 lb-ft of torque, and a magnificent, almost musical, sound when you stand on the throttle. You'd expect a single-turbo engine with this much displacement and this much power to be saddled with either a sniff of turbo lag or a wheezy top end. Not BMW's V58 engine. In any gear and at any RPM, the M340i responds to the driver's right foot with knee-jerk reflexes and a forceful shove. Admittedly, though, the idea of in any gear at any RPM is purely hypothetical unless you're shifting the automatic transmission in its manual mode. The excellent 8-speed gearbox drops into the right gear with crisp, quick shifts and perfect timing. BMW bolted a 48-volt mild hybrid system onto the M340i's V58 engine last year. The electric motor provides 11 horsepower squirts of power that you'll never notice and nudges fuel economy up from 25 to 26 miles per gallon combined. If you're upgrading from an earlier M340i, you might clue into the mild hybrid's smoother engine stop/start system events, but the system works well enough to earn the highest compliment we can think to give it. It's imperceptible. The 3 Series new clothes. The 3 Series has undergone a mid-cycle facelift, also known as a life cycle impulse or LCI in BMW Speak, for 2023 that adopts elements of BMW's in-your-face design language without disfiguring the more recognizable cues. The lower center grille has swollen in size, the outboard brake cooling ducts are now surrounded by gloss black boomerangs, and the rear fascia sports a crude-looking diffuser that can't possibly be functional. It's not pretty, but next to the M3 and XM, the M340i looks positively restrained. The bigger change comes inside, where BMW has retrofitted the iDrive 8 infotainment system that's also found in the electric BMW iX and i4. It combines a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster and a 14.9-inch infotainment screen under a single piece of curved glass standing atop the dashboard, per the latest automotive design trend. Designers have used the additional digital real estate as an excuse to remove nearly all the physical buttons for the audio and climate systems. You can still scroll and click through the screens using the large control knob on the center console, or jump between core functions, NAV, phone, media, etc. using the buttons just ahead of the iDrive controller. We won't be surprised, though, if these controls also end up in a dumpster in the near future. The user interface was clearly designed around the idea that most drivers will tap and swipe the touchscreen instead. The 3 Series new clothes. Whether the big screen qualifies as an upgrade depends on how comfortable you are with digitization of the driving experience. The graphics are beautifully rendered and iDrive's organization is still easy to follow, but like so many modern cars, the system is starting to feel cluttered by a weather app and calendar integration and a dozen other apps that we're not convinced anyone actually uses. As more features get crammed into these screens and the buttons on the dashboard disappear, automakers are needlessly complicating the way we interact with our cars. That's not a problem unique to BMW, but whoever addresses it first will win over our hearts and wallets. Looking beyond the new infotainment system, the quiet cabin and supportive seats make the 3 Series a great tool for passing miles quickly. The chassis is so stable, the engine so relaxed at 80 miles per hour, that you'd need Germany's unrestricted autobahns to fully appreciate the M340i's poise. A Mercedes-Benz C-Class offers a more spacious rear seat, but the 3 Series has ample room for small passengers or larger ones if the journey is short, and the trunk is positively cavernous. A bend in the road. The G20 Generation 3 Series isn't exactly a fish out of water when the pavement twists and turns, but backroads don't feel like its natural habitat either. The disconnect starts with springs that are too soft. In comfort mode, the M340i has more squish than practically every car it competes against. The optional $550 million adaptive suspension allows you to dial in more stiffness using the car's sport mode, and the difference is stark. But instead of buttoning down the body motions, the firmer damping simply speeds up the bobbing and bouncing that keeps this 3 Series from feeling as composed as its ancestors. To be fair, the test numbers reveal the M340i xDrive moves like a legitimate sports sedan. On staggered Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, it logged 0.92 g of lateral grip and a 25.0-second figure-8 lap that lands it in the same league as a Nissan Z. The standard M Sport brakes hauled the nearly 2-ton sedan from 60 miles per hour to a standstill in a short 104 feet. But as we alluded to at the beginning, the M340i fails to capture the magic that made the E90, E46, and E33 series so enchanting. The steering is quick and accurate, yet the electric power assist flattens the effort so that turn-in feels the same, no matter how fast you're moving or how tight the turn is. The feedback comes through your eyes and your butt, not your hands. One among many. Buying the 3 Series with the bigger engine used to be the ticket to sports sedan nirvana. In the $59,395 BMW M340i xDrive, though, the sense of sportiness stems from the hard-charging 382 horsepower inline-six and the quick-shifting 8-speed automatic transmission, rather than the steering and body control. That's been true for almost a decade now, and yet we can't shake the memories of the cars that built the 3 Series brand. Without the spectacular chassis dynamics, the M340i isn't the unique proposition it once was. It's a powerful, comfortable, and luxurious sedan, but those attributes aren't exactly rare among sedans costing as much as our $70,020 test car. Where the 3 Series once represented a one-of-a-kind car, it's now one among many.